Let's start with Calgary Shaw, followed by Calgary Northwest.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government has taken cities on a roller coaster ride over the past few years. They've had four ministers of municipal affairs in the past year alone. And they've signed not one, but 2 MOUs promising to deliver a big city charter. Now, the second MOU does offer a bit more clarity, specifically around revenue sources, stating, a key element going forward will be consideration of the adequacy and form of current revenue streams. To the Premier, everyone knows a revenue stream is simply a code for a tax. So what new revenue streams are being considered?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's a pleasure to rise on this. We're very happy to have very early, within 21 days of our mandate with our new Premier and under new management, we signed a charter framework with both Edmonton and Calgary that I have to say, Mr. Speaker, they are very, very happy about. This brings us to be able to move forward with the charter and into 3 different phases, Mr. Speaker. And I'm sure we'll have another question, and I'll be able to explain those phases for the honourable member.
First supplemental.
And I look forward to hearing the talking points the Premier's office provided her. The most recent MOU also states that this relationship will ensure the cities are provided with new and/or enhanced economic tools. More code for taxes. Can the Premier clarify what this means if it isn't referring to more taxes for Albertans?
Honourable Minister of Municipal Affairs.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And the 2 big city mayors have really been very happy to see us sign this city framework. Phase 1, Mr. Speaker, will address matters specifically to the 2 cities and municipal affairs by spring of 2015. In Phase 2, we will address matters between the 2 cities, municipal affairs, and any other GOA ministry that we want to chat about with them. And then, Mr. Speaker, and only then, Phase 3 will address the development of a new fiscal framework for the 2 cities by 2016.
Final supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we're all adults here. Mr. Premier, can you just stand up and tell this House, one way or the other, will the new city charter framework that you proudly claim to have signed with our cities involve new taxation powers for Calgary and Edmonton?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as I said, we have 3 different phases. You won't know what that would look like until we've actually gone through the consultation and the respectful consultation we have with our 2 big city mayors. In the phases that they've talked about, Mr. Speaker, Phase 1 and 2, making sure that they have the chance to talk to cross-ministries. And then finally, Mr. Speaker, as they brought forward these phases in order, which those 2 big cities did, then we'll look at a revenue or fiscal framework, but not until then. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member.